All right. So we are in the room today. The room is called Naming Your Next Program. It does a five-step process, but what I decided to do instead of going through a five-step process is that I'm going to give some do's and some don'ts, right? And um, and this will be a lot easier to follow along because the goal is to have these trainings inside of the classroom or inside of, I'm sorry, inside of the rooms to be 20 minutes or less. So I do not want to go over that time frame because I want to go ahead and develop or create a space that is, you know, focused around giving you really good information in the shortest amount of time possible. Because what we know about learning is that as soon as we get the information, we want to make certain that it's in small enough pieces so that it's digestible, and then it's actionable so that I can put it into action. The other really great thing about this type of training is that I will make it available to the entire house, okay, once it's finished. And that way, no one is going to ever miss any of the micro learning. Now, right now, my goal is to just do this once a day. And once a day, of course, mean Monday through Friday, and to only spend about 20 minutes or so inside of the room. And this will be, of course, where we'll just talk about some really cool things that centers around maybe building your business, building your content, or course development. So just to get started, my name is Janice. I am your online course creation strategist. I am also the owner of Hills Leadership and Training Institute, where we train your most valuable asset, which is your people. If you are a business and you're looking to develop training as a part of your organizational structure, then you definitely want to go ahead and give me a call. Definitely reach out to us because we have all of your soft skills as well as customized training programs that we can develop for you and your organization. So the first thing that we're going to do, or we're going to talk about today, is we're going to talk about, naming your program, right? And pretty much everyone should have some kind of signature program. And when we talk about a signature program, we're really talking about a program that is going to be unique and it's going to be comprehensive, right? And it's going to really represent your core values, your expertise, and of course, the mission of your business, organization, or you as an individual. All right. It is going to be your flagship product, right? Or service. And basically, it's going to stand out from all of the other offers and establish you and your distinctive brand identity. Okay. So when we begin to think about our actual signature program, they're sometime developed over time. You could come and, in terms of, initially opening up your business and have it centered around the signature program. But a lot of time it's developed over time, and it's developed through things like planning, researching, and absolutely testing, right? So when you are initially beginning, you're really kind of finding your footing. You're trying to find your way. And a lot of times you're just not sure exactly what is going to be that one product that is going to establish you as the leader within your particular industry. So, some of the things that we want to talk about, and we're going to talk about it here today, is of course naming that program. But I want you to just think about the purpose, right? Why would I, as a business owner, especially as a coach, right, want to have a signature program? And the reason why is because you want to make certain that people remember who you are. You want to make certain that your brand is recognized, right? You want to make certain that you have unique strengths in those talents that your business possess, that it is being basically it's rising to the top, right? It's also going to serve as one of the key points for you in terms of marketing. And that, of course, is going to help your customers begin to engage and, of course, recognize you as the leader within your field. Some of the other things, too, is that when we're thinking about any kind of naming of our signature product or naming of our signature program, you really want to think about it from the angle of your actual customer, right? We want to make certain that it creates some kind of loyalty and enthusiasm. One of the things that I do want to kind of just say about the signature program is that, you don't want to create it too soon, right? I did say you can come out the gate with the signature program, but over time it will evolve. It will become a little bit more developed. It will begin to, create and have its own kind of structure that is going to basically rise above all of the other programs that you may offer inside of your business. So one of the things we want to focus on when we're dealing with our programs is, of course, we want to focus on the direction that you're moving the business into. We want to make certain that the marketing is centered around your core or your signature program. You want to make certain that you continuously keep the conversation going with customer engagement in regards to your signature program, right? You want to make certain that the platform, whichever platform you're using, and it could be a multitude of platforms, that it is designed for innovation and growth, right? This is going to allow for you to continuously refine and improve your offer, which is going to be super important because you are looking and seeking any kind of feedback, right, from your audience, right? You're looking for any kind of changes in the marketplace that's going to drive your potential audience, either to the left or to the right, from you to your competitor. So you're always looking to make certain that you are leading. And then finally, right, when we're talking about the signature program, we want to make certain that it is a need, or it is fulfilling a need, I should say. And that need is going to be either from a professional point or from a personal standpoint, right? One of the things that we realize very quickly is that we have a whole person concept, especially in business, which means that if the person isn't well, on their personal side, isn't whole, isn't complete, then its chances are it's going to show up also over in their business side, right? So let's talk about some of the things that we want to do when we're beginning to try to define our next program. And I said signature program, but really we're going to take it from the aspect of any program that you currently may be working with or in. So some of the things that you want to do is you want to make certain that you define your coaching niche and, of course, your target audience, right? Now, the coaching is just one of the words that I'm using. Doesn't necessarily mean that that is what you have to be doing. But as we are going to need a reference point, I'm going to use the word coaching to kind of explain some of the things that, we're going to talk about here. Okay. Some of the other things you want to do is you want to make certain that it's easy to remember, right? And I'm going to go back and kind of pick up some of the do's and don'ts in just a minute, but I wanted to give you three. So you want to make certain that your name or the name of the program is easy to remember. You want to make certain, right, that you check that you are not infringing on anyone else's trademark, right? So you want to do some market research. And then, of course, you want to make certain that your brand aligns with whatever is presented out in the market, okay? Those are going to be 4 quick steps. And what we're going to do over the next few moments is just go through some of the do's and don'ts associated with naming your signature product. And I'm so excited right now because, a lot of people do not have necessarily a signature product. And whenever that signature product does become a reality or becomes a reality, it's a very important thing that you kind of keep it and you nurture it, right? So that you can make certain that it's evolving and growing with your business. So when we talk about defining your particular niche, right, you want to start by identifying who exactly are you talking to, right? We want to use words and phrases that's going to capture, the entire essence of what your actual program is about. Something that is going to be familiar to your audience, something that's going to resonate with your audience, right? Say, for instance, if you were like a health coach and you wanted to specialize, or you did specialize in plant-based nutrition, then you might name your potential program Plant Powered Health Coaching, or something like Green Lifestyle Coaching, right? Both of them brings to mind exactly what is going on. You do not, right, want to be very generic. You don't want to you want to make certain that you're not just throwing words in there that cannot easily be identified with what it is that you're actually presenting or offering, right? So things like healthy living coach, that may not be the best, best example of an actual name. Even though it may be easy to remember, it really doesn't describe anything about the program itself. The other thing that we want to talk about is we want to make it easy to remember and to spell, right? So you want to make certain that, people are not having to pull out dictionary and try to figure out exactly what letters goes into your name. So you want to make certain that it's an easy pronoun, that it can be something that can be spelled fairly easily and quickly, that's something that can be remembered, right? At the same time, you also want to make certain that it's something that resonates with your potential audience. So having it short, easy, and sweet, it's going to be ideal. What you do not want to do is you do not want to make it long and complicated. You don't want to make it difficult. You don't want to have a bunch of ands, them, and thens in it, right? And you want to make certain that it's not already taken by someone else. And that, of course, brings me to some of the things that you don't want to do. You do not want to use it's already in use by someone else, right? You do not want to infringe on anyone else's trademark. Not only is this just kind of just a bad business practice, but it could end up in litigations in court. So you definitely want to stay away from that. And then the last thing before we get out of here, and this is really great because we actually got this training probably in under about 15 minutes. So I'm really happy about this. But the last thing that I want to talk about before we get out of here is making certain that you align your brand and your marketing strategy, right? So basically, who is your brand identity? What kind of personality is it? What kind of values do it have? What kind of messaging are you trying to bring to the people about your brand? And so what you want to do is you want to make certain that it is relaying that actual identity. And so, for instance, if you were having some type of coaching program, and you really are trying to work with the well-being of individuals on an emotional level, then you could have a program to have joy in it, right? So joy coaching, and those types of things where it can help basically, organize and identify those emotional hangups that sometimes take place inside of, individuals when they're trying to progress a move. One of the things that you don't want to do is you don't want to make it something that is going to contradict what your brand is actually doing. Right? Like, for instance, I own Hills Leadership and Training Institute. So essentially, I'm going to speak to authors, coaches, business owners, right? And my whole entire theme is always going to be about training and educating, whether I'm educating on how to create a course, on how my course auditing program works, or any of those other areas. It's going to remain consistent. And that is what you want to do. You want to make certain that your brand identity and the things that you are placing out there remains consistent. And that is going to be super important, especially when we begin to think about naming our program, right? Naming our program. Again, it's going to be important because we do not want to confuse our customer. We want to make certain we provide a focus and a clear understanding of what exactly is being offered inside of that program. And with that, we're done. We have managed to do this in under 15 minutes. Please come back tomorrow and we will have another amazing micro learning session. Again, my name is Janice. This will be available here inside of the house. Okay. For those of you who are listening to it, maybe on my podcast, definitely make sure that you check me out and follow me over on my Instagram at I am Janice Hills. And with that, I am complete. Thank you again and have an amazing day. I will see everyone here again tomorrow for another one of our micro learning sessions. Bye.